All right, welcome to a very special 5-year anniversary edition of Technical Foul.
Filth.
Ba, ba, ba,
Filth.
ba.
There's so many amendments.
Yeah, we ain't even gonna waste y'all time. Let's get into it. Welcome to Technical Foul, the sports podcast you never knew you needed.
And it's your boy TIMKINZ, the number 3, aka Ass Ketchum, aka Mr. Give It To Me. 5 years of this shit, man.
Here you go. I am the Eric J.
Only known as.
The Eric J.
I know Camille, point guard of the crew, the real life Tifa Lockhart, the girl next door, holding it down for all the women who love sports.
And it's your boy K Harris, the gentleman,
The gentleman,
the everyday gentleman,
24/7.
but better known as K Diddy.
Take that.
All right, yeah, like we said, it's the 5th anniversary. We've been doing this for 5 years. Can y'all believe
Yeah,
that?
it's been a minute, man.
It was quick.
It was.
Take a shot for me.
But yeah, with that, let's get into the sports fact of the week. I hate for it to be a sad occasion on this, celebration, but May 23rd, 1999, Owen Hart passed away.
Oh, damn.
But I'm bringing back up. Let's celebrate Owen Hart. Were y'all Owen Hart fans? Y'all like the Hart family, Hart Foundation?
I'm
Black
not
Hart?
necessarily a fan of the Hart Foundation, but
Yeah, I ain't fucking
Owen
with
Hart was all right.
Yeah, Owen Hart was cool. I like them more than Brett.
Yeah, definitely, for sure. That's why we can celebrate him, because Brett, big mid. But hey, teach his own.
Very mid.
Yeah. Anyway, shout out to Owen Hart. Shout out to the Hart family. They're getting his name back out there finally. Like they have an alternative to WWE because his wife was not messing with them.
Yeah, AEW going heavy with it.
Yes, kind of like they did with Dusty Rhodes in the WWE. It's like almost in the same premise. They got the tournament after him and everything like that. Like it's pretty dope.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. So just as a reminder, we've been doing this for 5 years. We have been doing a second show for about, let's say 5 months. It's probably been less than that, but it was a nice round number. Overtime every Thursday, 7:30 Central Time, 5:30 p.m. Pacific Time. You can find that exclusively on the Good News Radio app.
Good news.
And on YouTube. So
YouTube.
I don't think they need a jingle. But you can download the Good News Radio app in your app store or head to tgnradio.net from your phone and download the app there. Also, you can subscribe to the Technical File YouTube page and watch the show there.
For sure.
Yeah, you can see our lovely faces.
The comments and stuff. Get into it with other people that's watching it.
Exactly. Interact.
So before we get into the game that needs a name, we just want to say that our 5th anniversary is not the only celebration this week. We are also celebrating a birthday. Happy birthday to the point guard. I see she was out there living her best life.
For sure.
Out here.
No, it just looked like I was living my best life. I was actually quite miserable.
Oh, see, that's all bad. This your Jesus year though.
Yes, it is. I'm looking forward to it, but
The Jesus year?
that Denver altitude is no joke. It wreaked havoc on my sinuses just about the entire time that I was there.
That's all.
So I didn't even get to do things that you would look to do while you were in Denver.
That's all bad,
Yeah.
My bad. That was irritating.
But no, we hope you feel better. Hope you actually get to properly celebrate your birthday later on this week. So
For sure.
Once you're all healthy and happy and all that good stuff. But happy
For
birthday.
sure. Thank you. And I just want to shout out to the mayor who did everything in his power to make sure that I had a good time
Hey,
For sure.
the man.
while I was out there.
He was Dr. McStuffins.
The man.
The man helped me stay sane while I was out there, man. I was like, do I got COVID or something? What's going on? He was like, I've known you for quite some time now. I know when you sick. He's like, you are not sick in this moment. And I'm looking at this COVID test, and the man was right.
That's what's up.
Hey,
look at
good
God.
stuff. Another brown.
Exactly. we whooping COVID ass off.
Hey, not gonna. But game that needs a name. We have 2 options in here. Did anybody do their homework?
I mean, no, I didn't.
There ain't no damn homework. What you talking about?
Hey, I ain't do homework in school.
I got a wrestling one though.
What's that?
WWE champions.
Shit.
Okay,
It's been a nice amount.
There's a lot of we can do that.
And yeah.
I guess that'll work.
Camille, are you playing or you want to sit this one out?
Y'all mean like somebody who's ever been a WWE champion?
Yeah, like the world heavyweight champ. So I mean, and people want to be semantics, and it's a universal or world heavyweight. Like, bro, the big belt, any of the big belts, bro. Like the gold one or the white and black and red one, or just top guy.
Red, black, and red.
I don't know.
The current one is black, red, and white and gold.
Oh yeah, it is. Okay, I get that.
Y'all go ahead. 'Cause I'm gonna be out.
Well, what was the other option?
pretty quick.
Other options are Olympic sports, which we mentioned last week, and then NFL DBs all time.
Ooh,
I'm gonna be out with DBs. As soon as y'all start naming ones I don't in my head, this will be rough. I don't know. It don't matter to me. I'm gonna be out first anyway.
all right.
Vic.
Let's go with wrestling then.
All right.
At least with it. Yeah.
All right, so if you aren't familiar with the game that needs a name, it's a rapid fire game where we each take turns naming. This week it'll be WWE champions until we either can't name anymore, so you get 5 seconds to answer, or you repeat an answer that's already been said. We'll go in order until everybody's eliminated. We have a champion. So
it's a street this week. All right.
figure we can go tech without the C order. So Tim, Eric, Ken, back to Tim.
All right, The Rock,
Stone Cold Steve Austin,
Eddie Guerrero,
Triple H,
Kurt Angle,
Randy Orton,
Undertaker,
Mankind,
Batista,
Kane,
Chris Benoit,
Shawn Michaels,
Ric Flair,
Ultimate Warrior,
Hulk Hogan,
Randy Savage.
Kofi Kingston, but yeah.
Roman Reigns. I don't know who else would say.
Kofi Kingston. Your boy winning. Ding.
I had Brock right there, and I didn't say it. I'm like, damn, why I didn't say Brock?
Brock Lesnar would have been a good one. You know what I'm saying? He was the next one on my list too.
That was cool.
No Chris Benoit?
I said,
he said Chris won.
Got to it before I did.
Let's see. Shout out to Donovan. He said he saw Kim post about Camille B-Day. Take a shot.
Hey,
take a shot from me.
Did we ever got it? That's been some years now. I don't know, Donovan. Did we ever get that bottle? I don't remember, B.
I feel like we might have.
But Camille go take a shot of water. She don't drink.
Yeah.
But with Camille, you got something to say?
I was gonna say big facts. Big water.
But with that, we will get to the sports talk because that's why y'all are here.
That's what you here for.
There we go. All right, so we are firmly entrenched in the NBA conference finals series. Do y'all want to start in the East or West?
East. Oh, we start East.
East. Okay. So as we record on Tuesday night, the Boston Celtics and Miami Heat are tied at 2 games apiece.
Mm-hmm.
Boston blew the doors off Miami last night. I think it got up to like 17-1 or something like that. Yeah, crazy.
It was
like this series is
weird
for it to be a 2-2 series. Like this series has not been overly competitive. Like it's just been a series of blowouts.
Yeah.
Like they taking turns blowing each other out
and getting hurt.
That took.
I swear.
Somebody out. Well, they getting blown out tonight. That's pretty much how been the story of this series. Somebody been hurt, one or two players hurt. That night, that team gets blown the fuck out.
Yeah.
So I don't have like what our predictions were from before the series, but I'll throw it to you. I'll say my piece first, and then I'll throw it to y'all.
Okay.
Like,
I was just gonna say real quick, we all had Boston.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I still have no idea what to make of this series. Like, to the point that we just made, where it's like been a series of blowouts. It's like there's no rhyme or reason to why teams are beating each other on any given night. So it's like I can't even take any like trends from Boston wins or from Miami wins. It's just like I don't know who's gonna show up that day.
Yeah.
Like, is Miami gonna make shots? Is Boston gonna turn the ball over a bunch? Like, I don't know who's causing what. Like, is it the defenses are
I ain't the damn defense
bad, or you know, like, is it? Yeah, I have no idea what to make of this series. Like, I'm more confused now than I was at the beginning of it. I guess I'll still go with Boston in 7 because that was my pick to begin with, but I don't know. It does feel a little bit more like Boston doesn't show up in the games that they lose, as opposed to
Miami. Like
Miami just playing so much better. And maybe that can be my bias going in. So I don't know, but like that's the only feel that I really have for this series.
Yeah.
So where are y'all at after 4 games?
Now, I'm gonna give just a slight moment of honesty here. Ever since we've been out, I've been having a hard time trying to watch these games.
That's fair.
I'm not gonna, but I have caught some. And honestly, dog, like I feel like this is the Celtics series to lose, and I feel like they are the better team with just the better, like the games that they lost. I feel like it was games where they was like the game 1, like okay, they was probably dog ass tired from playing Milwaukee. They had a lot of mental mistakes and shit like that. Cool.
Yeah.
Came back game 2, refreshed, bust their ass.
Yeah.
Game 3, they turned over the ball every other possession.
Yeah.
And then game 4, they're like, all right, we're gonna fix that. We're gonna blow them out the water again. Like, I feel like it's honestly Boston's series to really lose. Like, I don't feel like Miami's doing anything too overwhelming or too overpowering in their wins to make you that, which is probably why you're still not sure, because it's not like Miami's doing anything overt to be like, okay, well, it's because of this that we feel like it could actually swing Miami way. No, none of those games really been like, okay, Miami might just be doing the damn thing. Because even in the L's for Boston, it was like, damn, Boston just looks pretty bad right now. It ain't like, you know, they was playing good and just lost on the L. It's like they just looked bad. They didn't show up that night. So I feel like it's more so on Boston to actually win the series, which, like she said, we all had Boston, as opposed to it's just being Miami being better. Yeah. At least in the wins.
And I feel the same way. I feel like Boston controls their own destiny. Like last game, like it's been back and forth. Like last game was super sloppy, like on both sides. It was at points where Cass was just being overly physical. I feel like they felt like that they was playing.
Catch these elbows.
Yeah, they was playing, like, you know, WWE or playing football or something out there.
Sorry, early blow the whistle. Boston, every time y'all lose, it's always bitching about the refs. Like, fucking relax. Like Jaylen Brown after game 3, I think he's like, you know, it's just they're allowing them to be physical. Like, that's not even basketball. Blah, 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 blah. Like, y'all again, like y'all took a victory lap over your ability to bully Kevin Durant in round 1, and ever since then, like the bully's been getting bullied, and then you want to cry about it. Like, y'all gotta relax.
Stop touching us. Don't hit me like that.
But anyway, I'm sorry.
But this series is again, like I said, it's a toss up. I don't know what to make of it, but I still feel like Boston is a good enough team. Like they control their own destiny. So if they finally, you know, get on one accord and get it together, I feel like they can go ahead and just, you know, go ahead and pull it off. But I have them winning in 7.
Even looking back at what was that, game 3, Miami won by 6, but they was up by like 26 most of that game, and then then Boston came back towards the end of that game. Kind of, there's one of those. They didn't show up the first half and decided to show up, and they did that against the Bucks too. Obviously, they were a team of 2 halves a lot against us, so maybe that's just their thing. Like when they finally decided to put it together a whole game, you got a game like yesterday. or when they're going to play a half when Jaylen Brown don't want to miss a fucking shot. They still take a L. It's like, come on, bro. Like a 2-point shot. Let me be specific on that. 100% on his 2-point field goals had 40 points and they still had an L. But
So what are the injuries now?
Hold on.
Okay.
Because we didn't get to Camille. Camille, you got thoughts on the series?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, at this point, when you have two teams that are evenly matched like these two are, a lot of times it's really going to be simple about why someone won or why someone lost. And normally it's going to be they made the threes. They made the shots that were open and we could not make those, or we turned the ball over too much and they took advantage of it on transition points. Like, that's the thing about the playoffs where it's like, sorry, I can't even catch my breath every time. But it's like the margin of error is very little. So it comes down to, are you making your shots or are you not? Are you taking care of the ball or are you not? And a team that does that night in and night out is going to be the one that wins more times than not. I mean, like, we even talked about the Western Conference series, but when you look at what's going on over there, make your shots, and it's a different game.
Yeah.
You were asking about injuries, right?
Yeah. So like, what's the update on like who?
Honestly, like
Everybody keeps getting hurt.
Let's put it this way: everybody in this series is hurt to some degree.
Yeah.
Who's gonna play? Who knows? Like,
Because every game is something different.
right? Like Tyler Hero sat out game 4.
Mm-hmm.
Robert Williams played. Marcus Smart didn't.
mm-hmm.
Game 3.
Jimmy got hurt, I think.
Yeah, Jimmy went out around halftime.
Some with his knee, right?
Yep. So I know him.
Kyle
Basically,
Lowry.
half of Miami's rotation was questionable for game 4.
Mm-hmm.
And Hero was the only one that sat out, I believe. I would imagine that that's still going to be the case. Like, everybody's still going to be questionable going forward because none of the starters look good at all. Like, none of the starters, I believe, got into double digits. Somebody back check that on me. But I know that they definitely were. I think it was 28 points between the 5 of them, which is the lowest in like 25 years.
You talking about yesterday?
Yeah.
None of the starters got into double digits.
Jesus.
So like, I think that, like I already said that I feel like, it's Boston's losses have been a more of a reflection on they just didn't play well, but also like Miami was dog shit yesterday. Like, regardless of like how well Boston was defending, because like Boston didn't shoot well in game 4. I think they were sub 40% from the field and sub 40% from 3. Like, they didn't need to hit that many shots because Miami couldn't hit the broadside of the barn. So
they actually ended up catching up at the end and shot 48%.
Oh, okay.
Boston
garbage
did.
time. Yeah, so maybe 9 garbage time. But like, it was sub 30. I mean, sub 40 for a large amount of that game. But yeah, it does come down a lot to making shots. I feel like Boston has a larger margin for error than Miami does, just because Miami has struggled to score all season. But I think their defenses are definitely evenly matched.
I think the flopping is evenly matched too. Goddamn, bro. Like, you got the two flopping his damn teams going against each other. Every other play, you see the PG Tucker where he flipped and rolled on his head. He looked like Chris Brown from Stump the Yard when he was spinning up, was flat on his elbow and shit, and then he came back on his back. Somebody said he looked like the red shell from Mario and shit.
I don't get that.
You throw the red
shit.
Yeah. I was like, damn, bro, like it's too much, and like I feel like that's part of the reason why they keep getting hurt. Stay off the damn ground, bro. You already know you got a bum ass knee. Why you falling on your leg?
Hey man, you gotta leave it all on the floor.
You got a foot sprain.
You gotta leave it all on the floor.
Shoulder issues. You out here b-boying. Like, bro, that's the thing that's been kind of like, I'm like, dog, every time I look at these mugs, somebody flying down a damn court.
It's usually Grant Williams. We do have a comment from one Triple T, who's been with us for 5 years.
Triple T.
Shout out Triple T. He said, how many times is Kenzie gonna say it's Boston series to lose?
As many times as I want, nigga. God damn it. So you understand. You got the message. It's Boston to lose.
Any other thoughts besides it being Boston's series to lose on this series?
No.
All right. surprisingly, given like where the teams are record wise, the Western Conference has actually been the better series, more competitive games. I feel like a higher quality of games, to be quite honest. Better basketball being played. But Golden State, as we record, is up 3-0. Game 4 is tonight in Dallas. I don't need to remind anybody listening to the show, I'm sure, that no team has ever come back from a 3-0 deficit to win a series in NBA history. I mean, I'll ask it. How do you guys feel about this series? Are you confident in your pick?
It's over.
I feel like some of y'all had Dallas.
Yeah, I had Dallas.
I did too. And I said, are we being prisoners of the moment after I said Dallas in 7? And I think we all agreed that we all won.
I was at home thinking, I was definitely a prisoner.
I wasn't expecting them to be down 3-0.
I was expecting them to put up a bigger fight. And I wasn't, but again, like we know this Warriors team. And like what team, they kept their fucking core for almost 10 years, bro. Like who keeps the core in the NBA for almost 10 years is nuts. But yeah, I definitely expected Dallas to. Dallas like I said, it's been competitive. They just have been losing. But I wasn't expecting them to be. Definitely wasn't expecting them to be down 3-0. I have them winning tonight. Luka not for the go like that. Luka go put it. You know, he go put the team on his back, bro.
I don't know,
he go get it done tonight.
I don't know, bro.
They ain't getting swept, bro.
Luka got that. Got body, god dang it! He tried to flop too in the midair. Like, nah, bro, catch this body.
Hey, bro. Hey, that's an occupational hazard, bro. After he jumped, he realized, like, what the fuck? I don't even play defense. What the fuck am I doing? Like, what am I doing?
Why am I up here?
I'm not here for this.
Bro, keep going up. God damn it!
I'm not here for this. Jesus Christ.
Nah, that was gross.
Speaking of prisoner of the moment, like I feel like I saw a bunch of tweets like that's the greatest in-game playoff dunk of all time.
No, relax.
But it
was nice.
It was nice though.
Like
I feel like it might not even be the best in-game dunk of this playoffs. Like Ja on Malik Beasley.
That was
Bees knees.
He gave him the bees.
What's that? Triple C said Dallas going down like the stock market.
Jesus Christ. Hey man, look at that trust.
Y'all in Tesla, you better run. But get out.
It's in Dallas too, man. He's not going out like that.
I mean, he's had 40 in like the last 2 games.
I was gonna say
what more can he do?
Nothing. Somebody please.
It ain't the
help me, please.
But I mean, like that's the thing though. Like Brunson, Dinwiddie, and Luka have all had good games. I think like the last 2 games, and it hasn't fucking mattered. So, like I think Camille, you can correct me, but I think I was the only one that picked Golden State, and I said it at the time. I'm like, go ahead.
No, on the show, you picked Golden State. Tim and Ken picked Dallas. I said I needed more time to think because it just did not. Picking Dallas in the moment felt like being a prisoner in the moment, and I couldn't do it. So I wanted to wait. I did think it was going to be Golden State. I did not think that Golden State would be up 3-0 in this series at this point, especially with Luka being able to do what he's been able to do. But I mean, it kind of comes down to what I mentioned before. Like Reggie Bullock hasn't been knocking down shots like he was before. Finley Smith ain't been knocking down shots like he was before. Brunson's been playing a little bit better over the last few games, but like all these shooters around Luka that were knocked down against Phoenix have not been knocked down. They have been cold. They have been ice cold. They've been colder than cold.
Colder than cold.
And it's showing up in the box score. Like they are doing the go ahead, Luka, get your stuff off. We gonna let everybody else. Yeah, we gonna let everybody else chill. Like it's crazy. It's crazy. You would think that in a game where Luka give you 40 and Brunson give you 30 and Bullock can give you 20, that you would win, but they still lost by 9. Like it just don't. Like I think at this point, especially I think who knows? Dallas might win tonight, like Ken said, but it would just be a gentleman's sweep at this point. But people got to start apologizing to Golden State. Because people like Ken mentioned, it's very rare you see a core that's been together this length of time.
Yeah,
and they've been injured over the last few years, so maybe people forgot. But like, this is a dynasty for real when they're healthy, and they're showing that again.
I mean, the shooters are missing too. Like, it's one thing for like the.
I mean, Bertans can't hit a shot.
Bertans is considered like a shooter.
I know that's what I'm saying.
And Max Kleber is a shooter. And he be shit. But like, you got them cats like that who's like, to her point, they not hitting shit, bro. And you getting 86 from 3 cats. You just need 5 from 3 other people. Damn near, that's 100 points. But you can't even get that.
Yeah.
Barely.
I guess the point that I was gonna make was that I had Golden State in 6, so even I didn't see like them being up 3-0. But like for me, I was thinking that Memphis was just a bad matchup for Golden State. Like I felt like people were discounting what happened in round 1 against Denver and what we've seen pretty much all year when I was gonna say when healthy, but like the Warriors weren't healthy at any point during the regular season. But like at least that opening stretch of the season where they started out like 18-2 or whatever it was. Like this has been a juggernaut hiding in plain sight, and I feel like people were way too low on them coming out of the Memphis series, and too high on Dallas coming out of the Phoenix series. Which the more we hear about like what was going on behind the scenes, it's like Phoenix kind of self-imploded a little bit also. So
wait, what was going on behind the scenes?
Ayton is apparently has one foot out the door. And then Chris Paul, as usual, discloses the injury after he loses the series. So
Pat Bev was right about that. Pat Bev, I'll give Pat Bev a lot of beef for all the stuff he said, but he called that Chris Paul was going to say he was injured before that came out. Chris and LeBron, I see why they besties. They got that in a lot.
Damn.
Yeah, I forgot what the injury was. I want to say it was his shoulder, but I don't remember 100%. But I know Mark Spears came out a day later. We do have a comment from Triple T. He said, "I'll be the first to apologize to Golden State." Apparently, you gotta get in line behind the other Tim, because I said at the beginning of the season that they wouldn't get far without a good big. I was wrong. They do have a good big. His name is Kevon Looney, and he's from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Put some respect on the man's name.
We're fall here balling.
Not to mention, like the NBA ain't like huge no more.
Like how it used to be.
Every week. But no, like you don't. Every team don't have a legitimate like 7-footer, 7'2", humongous finna board and defend guy. Like even if they trash, like they just body in the way.
And even when Golden State was like at their most dominant, they never had a dominant big. They never even had really like somebody I would say was an above average big. Like they've never had anybody that would call an above average big. Like they've had a Kevon Looney level big like their entire run. So like I don't think a center is necessary, which is why I don't really understand why they drafted Wiseman. But
Boogie too.
They never had an above average. Like, Boogie wasn't Boogie when he was on Warriors.
He wasn't boogieing.
But like they never needed that. They just need somebody that's gonna defend. They need somebody that's gonna pass, like
and hustle,
and somebody that's gonna set illegal screens. And check. Like, I mean, Andrew Bogut is like one of the best dirty screeners in history. But and like I mean that as a compliment. Like he got away with a bunch of moving screens. Zaza Pachulia got away with a bunch of moving screens.
They kept cats like that.
That's what I'm saying. Like they know what they need from the center position. Which again, you had LaMelo sitting right there. I don't know why you went with Wiseman, but that's a different discussion for a different day. They probably going back to the finals. Which again is crazy because what was it, 5 years ago now? 4 years ago? 2019. So that's 4 championships ago. They coming back. Like I thought, like when KD tore his Achilles and then left, and then Clay tore his ACL and then tore his Achilles. Like I thought it was done. I thought their run was over, but they were able to rebuild after a couple of down years, and now they're right back.
High ass draft picks too. God damn.
Yeah.
Then the babyface assassin never left.
And I mean, they turned D'Angelo Russell into Andrew Wiggins, who is actually
damn near the best player of this series.
I mean, he's playing well
across the board in all the
been
games. Yes, and he's been getting boards. He's been playing defense. He's been hitting big shots.
Still have Stephen Curry.
I hear you, But in this series, he really has.
The only point I was trying to make is that they've turned Andrew Wiggins into somebody that people thought was a bust into like elite level role player.
My man's been all-star.
Yeah, that's hyperbole to say he's been the best player in this series, man.
I'm trying to give him his flowers, and then he jump out the window, and I'm like, damn,
Yeah,
I'm just trying to
Tim
give him
always
a
gotta take it to
compliment.
another
Now you got me
level.
trying
Hey,
to
listen.
argue against like my own point.
Now we gotta
I'm pretty
slander
sure I
Wiggins
said.
to
I'm
bring it
pretty
back
sure
down.
I said one of the best players of this series. I'm
We didn't
pretty
have to go
sure I
down
said
there.
one of the best players this series. So he can be one of the best with Steph Curry. Because if you say outside of Steph, who's the next best Warrior that's been playing this series?
Draymond Green.
Yeah.
And it's not going to show up on the stat sheet, but
yeah.
Draymond Green is invaluable to this team.
I understand.
He
I
the
was-
reason why where
he-
they are.
Like everybody's playing well, so like I'm not gonna throw dirt on anybody, but like Kevon Looney, you can make the same argument if you're making that argument
Yeah,
about
sure.
Wiggins, like what he's doing defensively, like the fact that he had like that 20 whatever point game, the
21
all the
12.
rebounds, like they're all playing well. So
Yeah.
like I'm not trying to take away anything from Wiggins by saying like they've turned like they took what everybody saw as like a negative asset, the fact that Minnesota had to attach a first round pick that became Jonathan Kuminga to get D'Angelo Russell for Andrew Wiggins. Like
What a trade.
people like we moved on, we weren't really paying attention to him. We thought, oh, well, maybe they're loading up for like the next run, like once like this generation is past their prime, and no, like they back and
Yeah.
and they got a good shot at winning the title again. So
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
And nobody asked you, bro. Like, come on
That is
now.
what he said.
He
You
can't
said
even,
it-
wait,
you
he
said
can't
it
even be
twice.
like, see, we're going to turn this into one like Jet Li, bro. I'm going to be the one. Like, Tim ain't even backing the brother up. God damn it.
just to give context to the people that are audio only, Triple T did call out a Tim stat. So he said that Tim did say he's been the best player in this series.
Yeah, you said it twice too.
Oh, I know he did.
Yeah, I
because he
know.
tried
I
to
was
walk
letting him
it
cook.
Hey,
He
forget
always
y'all,
do
bro. I
that.
ain't trying to hear all of that,
good.
bro. I'm just saying. I'm trying to get my
Don't be
man's
trying to
Wiggins,
walk it
bro.
back. Just
Bro, don't be trying to argue with me,
just stand
bro.
in it when you're wrong, fam.
Stand
Y'all be
there.
arguing with me, bro, for no reason, dog.
You act like you ain't used to
For
taking
no
L's,
reason, bro.
relax.
Y'all just be
There
out
ain't
here.
no reason. We be hearing
no
the truth,
reason,
and then
bro.
you try to make it seem like we ain't here.
Y'all didn't
We
hear it.
heard.
You a gaslighter,
You
man.
didn't. You
He
didn't hear
really
it
is.
at all, bro.
He toxic, man. He toxic.
God
Let me
damn.
live in my toxicity
Toxic Tim out
then. Let me
here,
live in my
this nigga.
toxicity then.
Toxic Tim.
No, this is an
right.
anti-toxic
But real
pack.
quick, I do
Go
want to say something about the Wiggins Russell thing. That's good GMing, where you
Yeah.
have an asset that even if it doesn't work out, it's someone that you can flip for something else that's more valuable. Because we had questions about Russell's fit with Golden State initially, and he used it as a trade chip. Now we didn't think that Wiggins would be like the right piece to get back, but it was another piece that could be moved later on.
Mhm.
If need be. Like it's very smart just the way that they were able to stack up their assets and just kind of see how things were going to
Mhm.
play out and then make the best move out of it for them.
And to piggyback on that, the only reason that they got Russell is because KD went to Brooklyn and they had Russell to do a double signing trade. So again, like backing up Camille's point, like that's
Yep.
good GMing. Like you didn't just let an asset walk out the door for nothing. You got something back. It might not fit, to Camille's point, but you can flip that for something else. And again, like I think that Wiggins, like they didn't pick him up because they're like, oh, Andrew Wiggins is going to be a good player for us. They picked him up because they're like, this is a big ass salary slot that we can cobble together with like these 2 top 10 picks that we have coming in and turn that into Bradley Beal or something like that. But instead, they rehab Wiggins. They pick Kuminga, who seems like a hit. They pick Moody, who seems like he's going to be at least a good role player. Wiseman, whatever. But like even
get
that,
healthy.
you can probably still parlay into something different. Like if they come to the realization after this series, it's like, or this season where it's like, okay, Wiseman ain't really in our future. Like there's still probably a team out there where they're like, we liked him before the draft. We can take him on and try to
Phoenix.
do something with him.
Mhm.
And maybe they'll give up something of value to Golden State. Again, like I don't want to relitigate the Bucks offseason, but like that's why you don't just let PJ Tucker walk. Like you can use his salary slot, even if he, regresses or falls off the cliff athletically, like you can still use that to match salaries in a trade in the future.
Mhm.
But anyway, we have a bunch of comments coming in. So let's see. Mark is here. So shout out Mark.
What up, Mark?
What up, Mark? Bro, you been-
Where you been at?
Bro,
man?
you been ducking, bro. It was like we're finding Waldo, dog. We was worried about you for a minute.
Catching up on his comments, he said that dunk was nasty, talking about Wiggins over Luka. He then asked, "Is Wiggins dunk or Baron Davis dunk?" Baron Davis dunk for me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was nasty.
He killed that kid. I mean, that was my guy, but damn, he
That was
destroyed
my
that
guy.
man. That was my guy.
Easily Baron.
Yeah.
And like the crowd reaction to that dunk was great. Like that was just
Plus
that's
the
an all-time moment.
like the oral that season and all. Yeah, just the whole situation was beautiful.
And I also want to point out like Pippen over Ewing was in the playoffs. I believe Jordan over Ewing was also in the playoffs. So
You and Stan
He
get
just
dunked
he
on.
the body bag.
let's see. Gio says that he was a Wiggins hater. This is a great fit for him there as a fourth option. No pressure. I agree. Mark came in and said, if Seattle and Vegas get franchises as rumors say, who moves to the East?
If they add 2 in the West,
Memphis and New Orleans, since they're already
Yeah.
in the East,
East of Mississippi.
Yeah.
Maybe
That makes
Minnesota.
sense.
I don't know.
those would be the only 3 I could think of.
Yeah, that would make sense.
But Memphis for sure.
Yeah.
The only thing I can think of is like they.
No, man. Minnesota for sure. Minnesota
Yeah,
should not be a Western Conference team.
Yeah. Minnesota isn't anywhere close to anybody else in the West. Like Memphis at least has like New Orleans and the Oklahoma City and all the Texas teams. Like all those are at least somewhat close. Like Minnesota is just like the next closest Western Conference team. I think is Denver. So, or maybe Memphis. Like they're far as fuck away from everybody.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a good question. Something I hadn't thought about. What else do we have? Okay, so everybody here, I guess, has Golden State now. So that means Golden State and Boston. That's your finals?
Yeah.
Yeah. Golden State and Boston.
Seems like a lot of these playoffs are dependent on like how these teams match up with each other. So obviously we'll get to it like once the finals are set. But like
Ooh, that would be a good finals. Actually.
as we stand right now, halfway through the conference finals, like
Mhm.
who's your championship pick? Like who's gonna win it all?
Golden State.
Golden
Are you
State.
being approved in a moment again?
I was thinking about this. I'm leading up to this. I was like, let me just go ahead and think it through. But like, because if it's Golden State, Boston, like I feel like Boston's size and physicality will match up pretty well against Golden State from the starters to the bench.
Mhm.
Like you'll probably have Draymond on Jason Tatum,
Mhm.
or however their defense works. But you'll probably see more Draymond on Tatum, and then you probably switch with Wiggins and shit like that. But it's just I think that will be a fun finals. And then you got Marcus Smart chasing around Steph if he healthy.
Mhm.
You got Grant Williams out here pushing around Draymond Green. Al Horford doing his thing. Like that'd be interesting. That'd be a fun finals. That really would. But I'll take Golden State.
And not to argue your point, but like I do see people like just line up the lineups next to each other. Like, oh, this guy's gonna catch this guy. Like so much NBA defense now is so team oriented, and like everybody switches. So it's like, who has the best weak link? It's like what you look at defensively, because it's like everybody gonna guard everybody really at this point.
Mhm.
Or you're gonna put your team in a rotation because you're trying so hard to fight against a switch that now you got 2 on the ball and somebody's wide open. So like, yes, they have you. The way you want to look at it, I guess, is like who has as many bodies as possible to throw at the other team's best players. And I do think that Boston has a bunch of people that can chase Steph around, or that can kind of like switch Steph, Draymond pick and rolls where it's not gonna kill you. So I do think that defensively they match up pretty well against Golden State. It's just Golden State, if they get loose at all, like it's a wrap. So
Yeah.
Don't put Peyton Pritchard out there on Steph.
yes, that is instant death. But I do think I lean Boston slightly at this point. But like Boston's offense doesn't give me much confidence. Like I've seen them against the Bucks, I've seen them against Miami, which granted are 2 great defenses, but also Golden State has a great defense. So we'll see. But I slightly lean Boston.
I'm biased. Never Boston. I don't want Boston to win a championship. Fuck 'em. Being a Laker fan, I don't want to see Boston win a championship, so I'm going to go say Golden State.
As a Laker fan, you say Golden State?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's Boston. Fuck Boston. It's always fuck Boston.
That's fair. I mean, yeah, it just might be like we sitting out the finals. Ain't no winner. Kabir, I don't know. Do you want to answer?
I can't at this moment.
Kind of figured that's where we're going. All right. So, full disclosure, we did not put together a rundown for this show. So, we're gonna look at the anniversary as a holiday. So we'll go popcorn style the rest of the way. So Tim, you'll lead it off. Pick us the topic to discuss.
Okay, fun one. Fucking Nick Saban.
Yeah.
Fuck him for one. But Nick Saban decided to go on this. He was doing some kind of summit or something like that, like some conference, and he decided while he was on stage to just start throwing out these allegations and shit. Talking about some the best cornerback or pretty much the top player in the nation decided to go to Jackson State. He felt like, and Texas A&M buying, or Mississippi State and Texas A&M are pretty much buying all 8 players type shit. He was also one of those people who really wasn't for the NIL deals kind of coming to fruition either. I feel like it's because it was fucking up the church's money.
Yeah,
it's Alabama. Alabama, everybody knows, has been one of the top programs in the nation for years, especially since Nick Saban took over.
Because they were paying players.
Because they were paying motherfuckers. How many college cats you know out here with these Wait, they was on Ohio State's ass. Ain't nobody said shit to Nick Saban though. Nobody, but everybody and their mama know. Outside of them being a pro factory,
allegedly.
Outside of them being a pro factory for football players, then I guess you could get some Alabama, but football players, it's like he was more so upset that I felt like he felt like he was cheated out of the top player. Like, ain't no fucking way he going to that HBCU. The fuck will he go over there for when we offer him all of this money? One, you got the damn near the greatest cornerback of all time coaching him. And my position is what? DB. Why the fuck would I not want Deion Sanders, who also is coaching a great team right now? Like, the program is on the rise. They're starting to get the donations in and shit like that. They're getting better facilities. Like, I'm also gonna be one of the people on the catalyst that can. He probably ain't thinking about all of that. I'm not saying what the man thinking, but I'm thinking he could be a catalyst also to bring in more talent and be one of the people part of the franchise history or the school's history. Like, hey, so and so went here. He was one of the best players in the country, and he in the NFL. Jackson State gonna love him. Plus, he around his people. As let me quote Coach Deion, we ain't got to say shit. We ain't have to buy him nothing or anything. Like, he here with his peoples. We ain't got to give him nothing. He here with his peoples. Like, I can see it. I understood it. But Nick Saban, for some reason, can't understand why he went to Jackson State and then decided to throw Mississippi State under the damn bus. And Texas A&M. But everybody come out and Coach Prime was like, you know what? Don't do all that talking in public and then call me in private. No, we're going to talk in public, too. Like, that's fair, bro. Like, that's bogus as a motherfucker.
It is.
Yeah. I know.
It's messy.
Like, I will say, like, the optics of a white man being upset that he can't buy the best black bodies anymore is kind of, you know,
an issue.
That's how they
Everybody know about the boosters in down south, bro. The SEC is full of them. Everybody knows it.
I'm saying everybody, you know, wants to laud capitalism until capitalism comes out to bite them on the ass. But I do want to shout out Triple T and Mark, who also made their NBA Finals predictions in the comments. Triple T said Boston in 6, and Mark said Warriors in 6. So
there you go.
Shout out to them.
No, I don't know. Jimbo might get blown out this year, Mark. Like, Alabama's still a monster, bro. Like, they just took the 4-star recruit quarterback who decommitted from A&M, just signed with Alabama.
That makes me he upped his up.
But shout out to Jimbo though. This man had a whole press conference just so he could talk his shit for no reason. It's like, fuck that. Bring the cameras, bring the press. I got something to say about this motherfucker. He just let him have it for the whole press conference. So shout out.
Like, I didn't hear Nick Saban's original comment, so like y'all can fill me in if I'm off base. But it's like NIL is legal now.
Yes.
So even if what's the kid, Travis something, whatever his name is, the kid that went to Jackson State, like even if he did get offered a bag, like as long as it went through NIL, like it doesn't really matter. Like
it doesn't matter.
You upset because like things aren't the way that they used to be, but you gotta live in a new reality. The new reality is Alabama don't just get, you know, they pick of the litter because like they had, you know, quote unquote, they spend the most on facilities and they have the best, you know, pro prospects and all that shit. Like you actually got to go out there and compete in other ways now. So go do your job, man.
I found it. Right. So one, he said that he Jackson State paid old boy $1 million.
And old boy said like, he's like, if I got $1 million, why is my mom still living in a 3-bedroom house with 5 kids?
Like, bro, but this Nick Saban hating ass.
Jackson State paid a guy $1 million last year that was a really good Division I player to come to school. It was in the paper and they bragged about it. Nobody did anything about it.
They ain't say shit. That's just kind of, but it's still kind of wild. And then, like Ken said, Jimbo Fisher got on and tore him a new asshole.
Yeah, he went off.
Last night in Alabama? Yes, it would. First of all, I'll say it's a shame that we have to do this.
Yeah,
It's really despicable.
it really is. Truly.
It's despicable that somebody can say things about somebody and an organ. More importantly, 17-year-old kids. You're taking shots at 17-year-old kids and their families.
That's true.
That they broke state laws. That they're all money. We bought every player on this group. We never bought anybody. No rules were broken. Nothing was done wrong. It was all in the way we do things, the ethics in which we do things. And these families, it's despicable that a reputable head coach can come out and say this when he doesn't get his way or things don't go his way. The narcissist in him doesn't allow those things to happen. It's ridiculous. But when he's not on top, and the parity in college football he's been talking about, go talk to coaches who coach for him. You'll find out all the parity. Go dig into wherever it's been. You can find out anything. And it's a shame that you got to sit here and defend 17-year-old kids and families in Texas A&M because we do things right. We're always going to do things right. But we're always going to be here. We're doing a heck of a job. These coaches have done a great job. Our players have done a great job. The whole organization of recruiting people. It's despicable that we got to sit here at this level of ball and say these things to defend the people of this organization, the kids, 17-year-old kids and their families.
Valid point, my guy. In short, fuck him.
It's like y'all was saying. He's just salty that the playing field is getting more even when it comes to recruiting.
Mhm.
That's all that it comes down to. That's it. Because Nick Saban got some nerve to open up his mouth about someone else paying someone to come play when Alabama has been under the table paying the biggest the bucks,
Allegedly.
getting alleged whatever. We all know the truth.
Players came out on
We
Twitter.
all know the truth. Man, come on, man. That's all I heard was somebody real salty that NIL was helping level the playing field. And I also heard that he's upset that a historically black, college, university could ever get such a top prospect like JSU just got.
How dare you buy my Negro? Like that's what it sounds like.
How dare?
Like,
How dare you?
only because he got the number 2 recruiting class this year. That's what prompted all of this. We got the second best recruiting class this year. We was number 1 before. Like, what? It's all these schools in the country, and you're number 2, and you did this? Wow.
The nerve.
Rock 'em.
Oh. I'm like hitting shit on my phone. Sorry. Next topic, we can go to the All NBA rookie and defensive teams. They were named last week. Rookie team. First team is Scotty Barnes, rookie of the year. Evan Mobley, Cade Cunningham, Jalen Green. Those are the top 4 picks in the draft. And then Franz Wagner from
He was
Orlando.
I like Franz.
Mhm.
Franz is nice.
I mean, this was a great rookie class. Because even the second
Ooh.
team has some guys that I think that I'm really high on. Like most of them actually. All of them actually. Sorry. But the second team is Ayo Dosunmu from the Bulls, Chris Duarte from the Pacers, Josh Giddey from Oklahoma City, Bones Highland of Denver, and not on Herb Jones, the Pelicans.
Yeah, like I think it was last week. Like these last couple draft classes have been like
Yeah.
freaking phenomenal, bro.
Mhm.
We mentioned that on overtime. You can catch that on YouTube.
Do it.
And then the all defensive teams, Marcus Smart, Marcus Smart, quote unquote, defensive player of the year. Mikal Bridges of the Suns, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Jaren Jackson Jr., and Rudy Gobert. Second team, Drew Holiday, Matisse Thybulle, Draymond Green, Bam Adebayo, and Robert Williams III.
I think I seen somewhere they said that all 5 starters for Boston had got like at least a vote for defensive player. I mean, for all defensive teams.
I can see that. I mean, I feel like people want to brand me a Jason Tatum hater, which I am not, but like I feel like he's the weak link there. But
Really?
he's also, I mean, look at all the rest of the defenders in that starting lineup. Like that's not saying much, but a little squishy there. Like
you feel about
they fight like hell to keep him away from like the top matchups. But
You like Tatum at all?
slightly overrated.
Eric, you ain't gonna lie. You ain't gonna lie.
Hey, he was
slightly
struggling.
overrated.
He was struggling to say
Yeah, it was real high pitch too.
You know, it's like, you don't
Lean
gotta
into it.
Yeah,
Like here's the thing: Jason Tatum is a very talented basketball player.
Mhm.
He is Boston's best player.
Mhm.
The way that he is represented globally is that he's by far Boston's best player, which debatable, and also that he's like some future MVP, which again debatable. Like, I'm of the belief that you don't start crowning people before they've actually achieved things, which I feel like, which is why I push back on stuff about Luka and why I push back about stuff about Tatum. Like, I don't think that they're by far, like, they're both
pros.
very talented basketball players. They're both have like the world in front of them, but like at the moments when we talked about them in the past, it's like they haven't really done it yet. Like, people are always talking about he's gonna be the MVP, he's gonna be the best player. It's like, can he do it first? Can he show it first? Can we actually see that be what's going on before we start crowning? Like, that's fair.
That's fair. You did push back on that Luka talk when they was talking about Luka when Giannis was wilding. I remember.
I mean, my thing with Luka was like when they came into the draft, which is bore out, which I don't have a problem with. What was that?
Triple T said Eric could have just said I don't like him.
Exactly.
Really, I don't dislike him. I just dislike the conversation around him. Like, my pushback with Luka was like when he came in the draft, like everybody's like, "You're just so stupid that you have anybody other than Luka as number one pick." Like, it turns out that was true, but like, for like, there were reasons why Aiden was considered highly. There were reasons why Marvin Bagley was considered highly. Like, it's not just that people were hating on Luka. Like, I felt like it was a bunch of white dudes writing that see Luka as like the next coming, and it's like that was a whole thing. But it was just like the conversation around it is just like, you got to prop up your guy so you down talk everybody else.
Fair enough.
Anyway, shout out to the rookie team and all these things.
Indeed.
What you got, K Harris?
We're gonna talk about some football. So the NFL is discussing Pro Bowl week and ways to improve it, including possibly eliminating the traditional game and using that Sunday to showcase the players in it. Alternatives include a flag football game. What y'all guys think about that?
I wouldn't mind seeing. See, that makes sense. Like, is nobody want to go out there and get hit, bro? Like, at the end of the season, we done did all the hitting. I done been crashing into motherfuckers all year. Now you telling me for fun we finna go pad up and I'm supposed to play hard? No, bro. We in Hawaii. I don't want to be in my room icing up all on the yacht chilling. And I can't even turn up because I done got fucked up on the sideline because. Rest in peace, Sean Taylor type caliber guy done fucked me up on the sideline running. Like, I'm jogging, my man's ran through me. Like, bro, no. So having a flag football game, there was a flag football league I think Vic was in at one point. That they used to keep, like, you can see the stats on the field. Like, they did it like computerized, so everybody at home, there's a 60-yard pass while the ball is in the air. It shows you on the ground how far the ball is traveling and shit like that, or stuff like that. Like, it was pretty cool. So I'm like, why not? I think I mentioned that before. Like, why not bring that type of concept to
NFL
Orlando? Anywho.
That's the thing. Like, they don't even get to go to Hawaii no more. Like,
they used to be all the time.
You get a week in Orlando. Congratulations.
And they should let Nickelodeon do it if it's a flag football game. Let Nickelodeon.
That would be dope.
Like, for me, the thing about the Pro Bowl is like, it's an honor to be named, but like nobody actually wants to play in the game. Like, how many? Like, the last couple of years, like damn near half the league is a Pro Bowler because they keep having people decline, like to go play the game. Right. Or like half of the team is like on the Super Bowl or whatever. It's just like it should just be like all pro where you're named to the team. If they still want to do some type of event because TV ratings or whatever, like a flag football game, a skills competition, something along those lines where it's not, everybody put their pads on and kind of go through the motions of playing football. It's like that. We don't need that, and it's really unnecessary at this point. Because again, if we're talking about player safety and CTE and all that stuff, they shouldn't be adding games to the regular season, but you definitely shouldn't add like an exhibition
scrimmage, bro.
Essentially, not even like a half speed scrimmage. So anything that they can do to eliminate like the actual football game part of the Pro Bowl is probably better.
Plus, the skills competition portions have always been fun, like the kicking competitions, the catch competitions.
But if you make that like the actual Pro Bowl, like instead of it just being like part of the weekend, like that's like the Sunday, primetime event. It's like put that on display, get all the best players to actually come out there and play.
Because last year, they raced and all of that?
They had, something like that. So like I was thinking like that, I was like 40 yard down, but then the cats be like, hey, bro, I'm not gonna blow my hand.
Hey, the niggas that's fast go run.
Hey,
you already know.
Yes,
they go run. Hey, I'm running. You will be the main nigga. I'm running.
Are we racing? put these slides
Barefoot.
on. Yeah, that's true. Don't even need it. The ground is soft out here. I'm going on concrete again. Whew. I think my feet still recovering from that joint.
Camille, you have any thoughts on the Pro Bowl? I'm gonna say no. Oh,
No, I'm good.
10 pins 3.
Oh, it's back to me. All right, let's go with
Triple Z said they should just have a good old game of 500. Did y'all play that?
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
And killed a man.
Yeah, kill him with the balls.
Kill man was right, but 500 was my shit.
I like 500.
I used to just moss post.
Were you taller than everybody still though? For
No,
the
I
most
was
part?
short, like until junior year of high school. Like I ain't actually senior year coming back.
I was always
Grew 8
short.
inches in that summer.
Damn.
Hate it. Bit of good news speaking of the NFL. I guess the NFL expands the Rooney Rule to include quarterback coaches, mandates diverse hire interviews. So, the NFL announced teams will be required to interview a diverse candidate for the vacancy for a quarterback's coach when it becomes available. This marks the second significant change to the Rooney Rule this offseason. The league previously announced in March that all 32 teams must interview at least 2 women and or people of color for vacant coaching positions. All teams are also required to have at least 1 woman or person of color on staff as an offensive assistant.
Which was necessary because teams were hiring all their head coaches from the pool of offensive coaches. Like everybody want the new up and coming hot shot
Offensive coordinators.
Mhm.
But then there were no black. Well, there were like 3 black offensive coordinators.
Miami still in Kansas City.
So it's him, Leftwich, and it was McDonald. Was that the third one?
It's possible.
Which I mean, 2.5.
2.5.
2.5 men.
We're not gonna go down that road. But yeah, like that. This was definitely necessary because again, like you got to get you got to get minority coaches and women coaches in the pipeline for the jobs that actually lead to head coaching jobs.
Shout out to Ron Rivera. That shit, and Bruce Arians too.
I would say
Because
definitely.
Rivera hired like a lot of women on his staff and stuff like that too.
Mhm.
Like he's been kind of one of the people that
Bruce Arians be hiring everybody.
Yeah,
Bruce
Bruce
Arians
Arians
be-
that dude.
setting you up for success. That's
Yeah.
what it sounds like.
He that dude.
2.25. Oh, Mark Waller.
Hey, I can say that. You can't say that. What else do we have? In the story, I'm sure I'll care about. Minnesota has. Well, actually, Mark, you'll probably care about this. Minnesota has signed the former Denver Nuggets general manager Tim Conley to a 4-year, $50 million deal, which also includes an ownership stake.
Damn.
So Minnesota is in the Timberwolves, are in the midst of a ownership change. So Glenn Taylor still owns the team, but Mark Lore and Alex Rodriguez are taking over the course of like the next 2 or 3 years. So it's thought that this is like A-Rod and his partner's first, big splash.
Mhm.
But they're bringing in the guy who, continue what Masai Ujiri did in Denver and building it up. Like they found Nikola Jokic, they drafted Jamal Murray, Michael Porter Jr., all those guys. Like, I don't have to go down the roster of the Nuggets, but that has been a very successful front office for a while. To that end, former NBA center Calvin Booth, who was the assistant general manager, is expected to take over as general manager.
He was the Laker.
He's everybody.
Yeah, no.
Most aesthetically challenging looking person
Oh,
to ever
Jesus.
play basketball. Wait, Camille?
No, I was just gonna say this is the second time now that Denver has lost a quality exec from what some might say is being too cheap to match an offer to let them know that they're valued. Because if folks weren't aware, Ujiri, who's in Toronto, GM up there, he also was previously with the Nuggets until he got an offer from the Raptors that, Denver was like, we're okay. You can go ahead. You can go ahead. So they were able to kind of come back up with Tim. Shouts out to Tim. But now they lost this one. And it's kind of one of those things where I wonder, like, all right, you lost Ujiri and you were able to get Tim in there and everything. You know, you had another capable GM at your, at foot. But a third time, can you do it a third time? Replace the guy with the right guy. I don't know if they can.
Kind of like the Packers quarterback room, like.
Exactly.
But in defense of Denver, slightly, 4 years, $50 million with an ownership stake, like that's
The ownership stake is
Yeah.
that's a chunk of change. I might cheap out at that point too. But I do wonder if Minnesota felt that Tim Conley was gettable because of the reputation of the Denver ownership. So I don't think that it doesn't let them off the hook at all. But like I do understand why you would look at that and be like, well, Calvin Booth has been known as a rising star in the front office for years. Like people are like, it's only a matter of time before he's the GM of a team. So like I can see why you're like, well, we have a guy here already, so
we just can hold on to him.
Good luck to him. And like so much of GMing comes down to like your staff too. So if they can keep like that mechanism in place and it's just like elevating the guy, then maybe they will be all right. But we'll see. Because at the end of the day, like it's still one decision maker like that makes a difference. Because like you can get as much information as you want, but if you don't make the right decision based on the information that you get, like that'll stink or swim your team. Who we on? K. Harris.
The Arizona Cardinals will be featured in this year's season of the Hard Knocks. Are y'all excited to see Arizona?
So to be clear, that's the in-season versions. Like I think they did it with the Colts last year.
Yep.
So that's was that in November?
I believe so.
Okay, it's later in the season. I know that much. Who? I know this. Who's the training camp one?
Oh shoot!
It's Detroit.
Oh yeah,
Detroit.
the Lions.
The D.
Really? But yeah, how do you feel about the Cardinals? Does that make you any more likely to watch?
I would say it's gonna be the same level of interest, but it'll be just I guess slightly more because it depends on if Kyler gets his contract before the season started.
Yeah. And to Mark's point, he said Arizona's collapsed behind the scenes. Yeah, Arizona the last couple of years has got out the gates hot and then fell apart on the back end of the season. So if that holds serve this year, then we'll get to see that meltdown in real time.
That's wild.
Kyler Murray show.
Jamil, you gonna watch?
Yes. It depends too on how they're doing during the season, because like the Colts, when I watched the first couple episodes, and I was like, there's too many other things on TV right now. We don't want to watch this. But when they collapsed and they lost to Jacksonville to not make it to the playoffs, I went back and rewatched everything because I just wanted to see what that locker room was like leading up to it and then going through that situation. So if Arizona continues to fit the bill and do what they do, which is, as Mark pointed out and y'all said, collapse at some point in the season, I will tune in to see what happens.
All right, Triple T has an interesting question in the comments. No D Hop for that, I'm assuming. What's going on with D Hop? Like, I know he's suspended for the first couple games, but he should be back by then, right?
I would think he's back around that time.
Yeah, he should be back around that time.
Because it's not the training camp one.
Okay.
I feel like he should be back this season.
Like, I was going to ask the question, and I remember, like, why would Hopkins be, like, noteworthy? And I remember he got suspended, so. I think it's on you, too.
Okay, so I got a question then. Y'all want to see Ric Flair one last time?
No.
Hell no.
Absolutely not.
I don't want to see a man die in the ring.
Hey, he's hell bent on it, I feel like.
He's trying.
I feel like it. But Ric Flair has been medically cleared for his final wrestling match. He said he spoke to 40 doctors.
First of all, who are these doctors, bro?
Wait,
they did Zoom calls. He didn't go in.
I don't have the official quote, but I saw a quote, and I'm paraphrasing, where he said, I talked to a bunch of doctors. I'm only going to listen to one.
That gave the clearance.
I'm only going to listen to one. And that's because he's the one I felt most comfortable with.
And he said, go for it.
Yeah, pretty much what you said, and he said that I went with the doctor that gave me the clearance.
Of course. Well, that's why he felt the most comfortable.
That's why he talked to 40 motherfuckers. Like, shit. Everybody's like, no. Oh, shit. Oh, man. Flair, I've been a fan. Tell me, yeah. Talk nice to me. Okay.
You know who that doctor was? Floppy hair referee.
Oh, I like floppy hair.
What's his name? Charles Robinson.
Charles Robinson. I like floppy hair. But no. So while the participants in Flair's final match have not yet been officially announced, it is set for July 31st at the Nashville Fairgrounds in Nashville, Tennessee. One day after WWE SummerSlam emanates from Nissan Stadium in Nashville. Now, Dave Meltzer of F4W Online reported that the plan is for Flair to team up with AEW's tag team FTR, who are the reigning Ring of Honor and AAA tag team champs. They will reportedly face the legendary tag team, the Rock and Roll Express, plus another. Like I said, they tried to get Ricky Steamboat Dragon to go ahead and one last time, but he said nah.
Because he's also like old as shit.
True, and he probably don't want to be an accomplice.
Yeah. I mean, he himself doesn't want to die in the ring. Midnight Rock and Roll Express, like they old as shit. Like they don't need to be out there either. Like FDR gonna be doing a lot of work. Oh, we have some breaking NBA All NBA team news. We can go to after we finish with Flair.
I think I feel like I want to tune in just one last time.
No, bro. For what, bro? What he gonna do? He gonna do some nature workshops, some moves. He gonna put somebody in the figure four, and that's about it, bro. Nobody want to see that shit, bro.
To the region that Ric Flair even trying to wrestle, talking about them. I'm gonna check it out.
I'm not encouraging him to do this now.
You are if you say like I might tune in. Like that's the only reason.
I mean, it depends on if ain't nothing on TV at the time.
What bumps he can really take, bro?
None.
Exactly.
Just the razor ones.
Cocaine.
Nah, we ain't talking about coke.
Hey, man. Thank you, boy.
Speaking of dumb spots, I think his name Joey Janela. He used to be with AEW.
Mm-hmm.
I saw a clip. He did like a flaming boot.
Dude, yes, I saw that too.
So he lit his boot on fire and then couldn't get it to go.
So the ring on fire too?
Dog, they coming in with water bottles, my nigga. Niggas grab water bottle trying to put his boot out, bro. Wow. I was like, what type of shit is this, bro?
So you do a fire spot and then don't have extinguishers on hand.
Like they literally had water bottles, bro, in the towel. That's how
no. At least have an extinguisher on the standby. There wasn't none in the building.
Apparently not.
That was hilarious.
That's a fire hazard if anything.
My man was trying to take his boot off. It wouldn't come off. I was like, God damn.
I saw Booker T reacting to it. He said, "That's the dumbest thing I've ever seen."
It was super stupid because it didn't even make sense. Like, bro, come on, dude. Hey, man, that's Ric Flair gonna do that shit.
That's gonna be worse, bro. Woo, running, woo, like, bro, put him out.
Oh, man.
Stop, drop, and roll, bro.
Like, no, we don't need to see that, Rick. Damn.
I want to know how Charlotte feel about this.
I was gonna say something.
She probably know her daddy. She probably know how her dad is and just accept like that. Yes, at some point I feel like in adulthood you realize who your parents are as people, and then you just kind of be like, well, I probably ain't gonna be able to change this aspect of it, and you just kind of got to be like, go ahead, just do what you do. Like for like the Ball brothers, they all know how LeVar is, but they never tried to be like, well, Dad, you should stop. Like they were just like, that's who he is. That is what he is going to do. Which I also just want to use this moment to say shout out to LaMelo Ball and LeVar Ball for having one of the greatest sport commercials of all time. When he's working at AT&T, trying to be Employee of the Month, and then his dad comes by and says nothing that his boy can't do.
My boy can't do.
Just to hear my favorite line of the whole commercial.
I'm Lily now.
Wildin'. I almost forgot about LeVar the Raw, WWE Raw, when he came out.
Dog, took his shirt off.
He had a whole run, bro. Like he had a nice little run for the media, dog.
Dog can't run it.
That weird ass run, slid into the ring and shit. LaMelo saying nigga all up on TV.
No, what? Reckless as fuck.
Like, dog, come on now.
Get that nigga.
Get that nigga. Like, bruh, what y'all doing?
Hilarious, bro.
They had a nice little, like, the Balls had a nice run, bro.
Man, you can't hate on them, man.
I was trying.
Can't hate on them fans. Yeah.
Bring back Ball in the family. I don't know who we got to call.
Exactly.
I need my show back.
I need that too. And then to wrap it up with Ric Flair, mind you, this man is 73 years old.
And he had like a serious health thing like 3 years ago or whatever.
Man had a cardiac
like,
event
he
a couple
damn near
years ago.
died,
Bro,
Like,
you the nature boy, bro. Like you do not have to do this, bro. You don't have to do this.
if
You
you
don't do this.
believe what you've heard about his finances, he
I mean,
I ain't heard nothing, bro.
can we start a
Rick,
GoFundMe so
don't
this
do
man
it,
can
Rick. Don't do it.
somebody start a GoFundMe for Ric Flair so he can stop doing this.
Rick. Woo for
I mean,
Flair.
he's just gonna
Woo for Flair.
drink it up and trick it off on women. Like that's what he's done for the last 50 years.
He's
So,
lived a life.
Hey, man.
he lived the gimmick. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, that's it.
That's why he was all right.
So like I said, we do have the all NBA teams. Fresh off the presses. Hot off the presses, whatever it is. First team MVP Nikola Jokic, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Luka Doncic, Devin Booker, and Jason Tatum. So that means Joel Embiid did not get voted in as forward, so he is second
Thank
team
God.
center. Also,
Can I just
go ahead.
wait real quick before you move on? I just want to point out the fact that the best player in the world, Giannis Antetokounmpo, is the only player to receive unanimous first team votes on the first team. He received a perfect 100 people voting for him on the first team. He got a perfect 500 total points from that. I just wanted to make that known. Best player in the world was recognized as such.
Now we just need them same voters to recognize that he's also the MVP. But that's a different conversation for a different day. Second team, Joel Embiid, as I mentioned, John Morant, Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, and DeMar DeRozan. Third team, Karl Anthony Towns, Chris Paul, Trae Young, Pascal Siakam, and LeBron James.
LeBron James.
LeBron James.
I don't remember what my teams were, but I feel like the only thing that I had that I was debating was like third team forward. So I think that they picked the two that I picked, which was LeBron and Pascal.
Yeah, me and you had almost the same list.
Okay.
We and you differed. I had Jimmy Butler over LeBron, but then I was kind of saying like it don't feel right to have LeBron not on it. I'm happy he actually made it because LeBron did have
He had a great year.
a fantastic season. It just felt weird when I was doing it to not have any Miami Heat player recognized, given the fact that they were able to cobble it together and be the number one seed in the East. But I'm not mad at it. I think LeBron over Jimmy is on a slight. Some people are probably mad that LeBron was third team, but he would have been on my third team as well if I had a vote, and everything else lined up perfectly.
Little tidbit on these. So we all know that sometimes these first team votes give players the option to get supermax and that. So I think somebody mentioned something about Jason Tatum before because
It's any like it can be any of the all NBA teams. So it don't matter if it's first, second, or third. Like if they make third team all NBA, like depending on what their contract is, like it can bump them up. So like Trae Young, I think now qualifies for a supermax.
So Devin Booker and Karl Anthony Towns are eligible now to sign a 4-year, $211 million supermax extension this offseason. Both players have 2 years left on their contract, and the extension will begin 2024. The projected extensions would be 47.1, 50.8, 54.6, and 58.4 million. Good Lord, bro.
Good. Take all Robert Sarver's money.
Damn near 60 million a year. Woo, this sound like that 125.
I will say this: DeAndre Ayton is not getting paid. Like if Devin Booker getting the supermax, Ayton ain't getting paid by Phoenix. I'll tell you that right now. He said max me or bust.
What about Karl Anthony Towns though? That would be interesting.
I mean, they got new ownership. Like I would imagine, like if he wants to stay there, then they'll re-sign him.
And I'm sure they would keep Book over Ayton at this moment. Anyway,
I mean, definitely, it's just like a matter of like how much they're getting paid. But like, I think that Minnesota really doesn't have a choice. Like, unless you think Anthony Edwards is by himself, like that level of superstar, where you can then trade Towns. Which I mean, maybe you can't. Maybe you can come to. I mean, they got a new GM. Maybe they do come to that realization. But yeah, like it's Minnesota. Like, how are you gonna get somebody to replace what Towns gives you? Even if you think like he might be better slated as the second option than the first. Booker, same deal, kind of. Like Phoenix has the ability to attract free agents, but again, like Chris Paul's last couple years, like you don't want to fuck that up. Like you have a window now. We'll see what happens with Ayton. I would imagine they at least get something back for him. and try to continue this run. So
Fair enough.
those are the all NBA teams. Like I haven't had time to really process like who got snubbed, quote unquote. Like obviously Jimmy Butler, as Camille mentioned. What I'm really trying to remember is like if anybody aside from Trae Young had like a contract that would be affected by this, and I feel like there is, but I can't remember it now. So check back with me next week. Hands on you.
He was looking hard.
Oh, I was looking at something else.
It's like 6 things on that page.
No, I
Not
was
even,
looking at
like,
my. I was looking at my. I'm gonna leave that for you because I don't know how to say this nigga name.
All right.
Wait. While Ken is thinking that through, I do want to say the snub that Twitter is talking about is that Joel Embiid was not first team.
Okay, that makes sense for people to.
I mean, you had him, Jokic, and Giannis. So.
I mean, again, this is really the NBA's fault because of how they make you vote for all NBA teams. It should just be the 5 best players. You just keep picking the best 15. Regardless of position, just pick the best 15. The 5 with the most votes are on the first team, so on and so forth. Like, trying to force them into the positions and then trying to get out of it by being like, oh yeah, Jokic and Embiid are forwards and centers when they're clearly just centers. Like, don't try to change what position, quote unquote, they are to try to make ballots more flexible.
Mm-hmm.
Just make the ballots flexible. Like, this is the NBA's fault. Like, this is not on the voters because I applaud every voter who voted for it the way that they actually play the game based on the current rules the NBA has. Like, that's the rules that y'all have.
Mm-hmm.
That's how the votes should come in. And if Embiid is the biggest snub, then maybe this will be what's needed to finally change it to the best 15 players are recognized regardless of position.
Judge. But also, Embiid gonna have something funny to say. Just
Oh, bro.
He got one in the chamber. Right?
check his socials.
Yeah, he ready to.
Or he might cry. Like he has been known to do that too. I don't know what more I gotta do, man. If I can't get MVP this year, I don't know. They just gotta think against me.
No, bro. The 2 other cats had a hell of a year too.
That's literally what it came down to. Literally what it came down to. So Nick Foles agreed to a contract with the Colts. He will be the backup to Matt Ryan. James Bradbury, he agreed to a 1-year, $10 million deal with the Giants.
No, with the Eagles.
Oh, with the Eagles. I'm sorry. New Orleans signed Jarvis Landry, Javon Crowley, Javon. What I say, Javon?
I don't know what the fuck you said.
Crowley, he signed a 1-year deal with the Browns. Oh, and then they got Fuller. And then Baltimore ended up signing Kyle Fuller.
That happened today, I believe.
They
got a nice cornerback room now with Fuller.
Yeah, that was my dude.
God damn, Taker. My man's over there looking at the Undertaker. Sorry.
That's their life, boy.
Bruh. Tired. There ain't much left.
I was gonna say there's a bunch of shit I don't want to talk about.
All right, what you want? What you talking about?
I'll leave Mbappe for you.
I'm about to say you don't want to talk about the them finally getting rid of Snyder, probably. That's the second topic.
Oh, I guess I hadn't read it. Like I thought it was talking about like them building the stadium.
No.
All right, I'm finna Ron Burgundy this because I didn't look at it at all. NFL owners are counting votes against Commanders owner Daniel Snyder. One team owner told Jared Bell of USA Today that we are counting votes, which implies that the owners were considering an ouster of Snyder's ownership, which will require 24 votes to force a sale of the organization. Among the accusations against Snyder and the organization in the latest investigation is that he had 2 separate accounting systems with the potential goal of keeping some of the team's earnings out of the NFL's revenue sharing system.
Can't fuck with their money.
I was gonna say they'll let you get away with a whole bunch of shit. You can be racist, you can be embarrassing, you can be sexist, you can, sex traffic. But once you start withholding money from them, then they getting your ass the fuck up out.
I mean, the minute he start taking his money,
like I think that's a congressional investigation that's going on right now.
Yeah, it is actually the SEC. He has to deal directly with the FCC, the SEC, and whoever the Federal Trade Commission is. Yeah, like No, they on his ass.
Mm-hmm. Well, fingers crossed on that one.
I'm like, Eric would love this.
Oh yeah, I saw Commanders and I knew that they were in the news because they apparently are considering building a new stadium in Virginia. Like they bought up the land for I think $200 million.
It won't be Dan's.
He's like, look, I'm spending money.
No,
like, it's our money, motherfucker. Like, what you talking about?
Where you get all those extra dollars from, Dan? That's wild. That of all the years and all this time he's been doing all this crazy, like all of this shit, the cheerleading scandal, the whole nine.
I said literally sex trafficking. Didn't matter, but
don't take my pennies. Don't touch my pennies, bro.
You can finish this out, Tim.
All right, Kylian Mbappe. That's how you say his name. He turned down an opportunity to join Real Madrid and instead opted to stay with PSG, signing a 3-year, 600 million euro deal. Like,
good lord, that's a lot of money.
The signing bonus is 300 million.
Mm-hmm.
The signing bonus.
So 300 million euro. Signing bonus. Yeah, it's a 300 million euro signing bonus, and then 100 million euro per year over 3 years.
The minute your pen lead the paper, 300 mil.
And I think he has some extra perks, like he gets saying like who their coach is,
who the coaches, the transfers and shit like that. Like, boy, like, well, they had to do that because once he left, I believe that oh boy, the Brazilian, he was gonna leave too.
Neymar.
I feel like Neymar was going because Neymar went over there to play with him and Messi. Mm-hmm. Well, Messi went over there after the fact, but Neymar went over there to play with Mbappe.
Wait, Messi is PSG?
Messi went over to PSG.
Okay. Like I knew he was. What is somebody else that Messi was trying to go to, and then that got nicked, so then he went to Man City. Okay. Are you going to the game?
No. I'm trying my damnness, bro. I seen it in Green Bay. The minute I seen it, I was like, I gotta be there. But the tickets weren't available when I seen it in the first place. I don't know if they're available now.
They are. I saw I think cheap tickets $75.
That ain't good.
I gotta get a jersey. This is gonna be the only time. Outside of going to damn England to see them, this probably be the only time I really get a jersey. And it's in Green Bay.
Yeah. It's only a 90-minute drive. You got to
right
go.
there, it's around the corner.
Yeah, you got to go, Tim.
Yeah, I was just saying that's your spot.
Talk about GoFundMe's for Ric Flair. We need a GoFundMe for Tim. Like Tim got to be in the building.
The Milwaukee Citizen.
Let's see. Mark said, I guess 600 million euro or 643, give or take, $1 million. Okay, that's too much math. It's too many numbers.
So much numbers. I'm looking like that.
We appreciate you, though, Mark.
Yeah, it's a lot of money. Just put it that way.
It's crazy.
I think that's all we got for the topic discussion. I'm trying to go through. Yeah, that's it. All right, so we got 2 blows of the whistle. So we'll go to that now.
All right, now that's enough out of you. You know what? Tee his ass up.
I'll go first just because it's really quickly. Because you're gonna have to tag me in on this other one. Okay. Vince McMahon, WWE. Tim talked about it last week that Sasha and Naomi were unhappy and they left Raw. And they had to do a whole bunch of shuffling because they were supposed to be in the main event and they were unhappy and they basically just quit on the spot.
Mm-hmm.
Why the Texas says?
That was a lot.
Well, we'll get there. Basically, the WWE is engaged in a smear campaign on those 2 women for the last week.
Gross.
It is.
Like on top of what Corey Graves said during the broadcast on Monday, like they came back, doubled down on it on Friday Night SmackDown. Michael Cole was like, they let the crowd down and they were unprofessional and blah blah blah.
McAfee was shocked. Like, holy shit! Wait, what's going on?
I ain't agree to this shit.
Yeah, that happened. They stripped them of the tag team titles. Like they leaked a ton of shit to the dirt sheets in the ensuing week since all this happened. And it's just been real. It hasn't sat right with me. Like people have poked holes in like a lot of the stories that WWE has leaked out, just trying to make these women look bad. Including the fact that apparently they didn't leave during the show. They left prior to it, even though WWE specifically said they left during the show, causing us to
flop it.
Yeah. And I haven't watched Raw
It's been a
I think
minute.
I might have watched a little bit of the Raw after Mania,
World's
but
trash.
other than that, like it's probably been like a year since I've watched the episode of Raw.
World's trash.
Yeah.
It really is. I only watched this for Cody.
but
After that, I
apparently-
turned it off.
But apparently, like there were things within the script of the show which happened that wouldn't have happened unless they already knew that Sasha and Naomi weren't going to be there. So,
Mhm.
like you're lying. You pulled a Tim. You gaslighted us. You said one thing. We proved that it wasn't right, and you're like, no. Look. This is what happened. They left during the show. So like, again, like their credibility is shot, and like Vince McMahon says like the worst thing that you can do is walk out on the show, like during a show. Essentially, like the fans paid to see you, so like you didn't show up, and there's no coming back from that. Which, as a promoter, I get, but at the same time, he is the same promoter that, incidentally, with Sasha Banks at SummerSlam, knew she wasn't gonna be there, continued to promote it until the day of, including when it was time to like walk out for the match, and it's like, oh no, just playing. Now it's Carmella. Oh no, wait, just playing. It's Becky Lynch. It's like, I get trying to be surprised, but like if people know, like if people were looking forward to seeing Sasha Banks at SummerSlam, you falsely promoted that.
Yeah.
So like you can't come back now and be like, oh, this is unforgivable. You can't just walk out because like we care about the fans here. No, you don't. No, you don't. You don't care. So fuck Vince McMahon for a bunch of things, but specifically this time for the way he's treating these black women, which again is not lost on me. Like you going so hard
Yeah, exactly.
about 2 of 3 black women that you have on your roster. Like,
The best women in the damn near the industry.
but
Yeah.
you know,
Damn near.
Yeah.
That's some wild shit.
so that's my bullet whistle.
Welcome. So another fucking goes to Yankee fans.
You said
For
Yankee?
no Yankee.
Oh,
Yankee fans for a number of reasons, but for this reason today, Tim Anderson, he plays for the White
I
Sox.
fuck with him. Man.
So after Tim Anderson hit a 3-1 home.
Sorry, hold on. This is a Tim heavy episode. We got Tim in the comments, we got
Hella
Tim
Tims.
in the studio, we
Hey.
got Tim Conley, we got
Hey.
Tim Anderson.
Hey, hey, fuck with us.
It's a show full of Tims.
Fuck them all.
Tim
Well,
Palooza.
Timapalooza.
We good on that.
Awesome. Here you go. Feel like that. But Tim Anderson plays for the White Sox. So after he hit a 3-run home run, the fans chanted and taunted him, saying Jackie Robinson. All right, the reason why is because on Saturday, Anderson, who is black, accused Yankees Josh Donaldson, who is white, of making racist remarks. I'm calling him Jackie Robinson. So the manager of the Red Sox did. He actually came out and said that he felt like Donaldson's comments were racist, and because of that, the MLB actually suspended Donaldson for 1 game for being disrespectful and for making a comment for poor judgment. The reason why I'm getting Yankee fans, the blow the whistle is because y'all know the reason why this man got suspended, and y'all know the reason. Like y'all know what happened.
Y'all
But
know,
y'all
know what the Jackie Robinson
Exactly.
taunt, like you know what it's substituted for. So
Exactly. So
you
then
just-
all collectively, y'all all together is just go chant this shit while this man just hit a 3-run home run.
They told him shut the fuck up.
Exactly. he lucky. I would have came out. I would have been throwing some fingers. Y'all ought to been DX to that motherfucker. To all of y'all. Fuck Yankee fans, man. That's just tasteless, bro. Like, come on.
No, that was
Like, who does that?
and then for the MLB to acknowledge it and your manager to acknowledge like you out of pocket.
Yeah, exactly.
And then
Like,
they
bro,
suspended you. Nobody should be defending this man because
No.
not only did his team manager recognize it, the entire fucking league recognized it and said, "You, sir, were
Uh-huh.
wrong."
Exactly.
And Tim Anderson said, like, I talked to him about it before. Like, this ain't the first time it happened.
Yeah.
I said that shit was racist,
Mhm.
and so he knew. And so, like, calling him that again was like, yeah, fuck you, nigger. Like, that's basically, like, that's the
what
way
it
I
was.
look at it.
Mhm. And Tim Anderson isn't the first one. It's other players that came out that said Donaldson has said stuff that was off the wall to them as well.
That's some wild shit.
So fuck him.
And Donaldson been around for a while. Too.
Yeah, he has been.
That's some wild
So
shit.
fuck him.
Didn't he just get cashed out this offseason?
Mhm.
He did.
He's one of the better players in the league. But damn.
That's because he's one of the best players in the league. They let him say what he wants.
Chick-fil-A of baseball players.
Uh,
The racism.
And then because baseball is already considered a white man's sport anyway.
Tim Anderson been breaking down those types
Exactly,
of, like he been having the swag and
they hate it.
they hate
But they can't do
flips.
nothing. But this man is
He
cold.
be cooking their
He
ass,
be cooking.
goddammit.
But they hate like, oh, he's being too. He I ain't gonna say hood, but he got like swag.
Nah, he got a swag.
He got swag in baseball, and they hate that shit. Like he dressed like a,
He
like a
wear his hat
rapper.
backwards.
Yeah, nigga dressed like a rapper, like he Amigos or some shit like that. Like niggas they hate that.
What's wild is he could probably be like a Tim relative type. Like he could, I don't want to say he looked like me, but we kind of we can fave a little bit.
All right, here go Tim reaching again.
I ain't
Jumping
reaching.
out
Go
the
look him
window.
up.
Nigga,
Look him up.
I looked at nigga earlier. That nigga.
I play with the N-words right now.
Right.
Given the conversation. Camille, I guess you have a blow the whistle.
Yeah. Don't blow the whistle. I don't even know really who to pin it on. I am just frustrated with the United States of America. At this point, I sent the clip over to the guy for him to play it from Steve Kerr. But first thing I saw, no, not yet. I'll let you know. First thing I saw when I got off the airplane from Denver was that there's been another mass shooting at another school. And what we know at this time is that a shooter killed at least 18, and another.
No, it would have.
Yeah, 18 total at this point, because apparently the shooter killed his grandmother before going to this elementary school and killing at this moment 14 students and a teacher. Every time, well, first of all, the first time this happened should have been the last time.
Yeah.
When Sandy Hook happened, things should have changed. When Columbine happened, things should have changed, but it did not, because at the end of the day in America, we are a capitalist country, and the only thing that matters is making a dollar. If it don't make dollars and it don't make sense in America, when it comes to gun laws, hey, more dollars coming in, so we ain't gonna change gun laws. We gotta make sure that people with the guns are good, or we gotta make sure they're good. And at this point, I'm tired of it, because it's the same cycle every time. A shooting occurs, politicians say, "Oh, I'm sending my thoughts and my prayers, and I'm wishing for the best." And it's like, there's no more wishing. You are in a position of power to make the change that you are saying that we need as a country, and you are not doing it. And I'm fed up with it. I was very pleased to see, well, I should say pleased to see, because it's Steve Kerr, head coach of the Warriors, who we talked about in his press conference ahead of the game tonight. He talked about it, and he was fed up with it. And I applaud Steve Kerr for using his platform to pay attention to this, because he, like I'm just saying here, you're fed up. I'm happy he used his platform. Steve Kerr was visibly emotional at times throughout this 2.5 minute or so rant. And I think that needs to be played, because although people who are in charge of this country, they might not want to make the moves or anything, we as a people cannot lose that anger. We cannot lose that, because once we lose the anger and this all becomes super normal to us, we're no better than them. And we can't do that. So I just wanted to play the clip from Steve Kerr to bring it back into sport in some way, some form, to end my blow the whistle.
Churchgoers killed in Southern California, and now we have children murdered at school. Men, are we going to do something? I'm tired. I'm so tired of getting up here and offering condolences to the devastated families that are out there. I'm so tired of I'm tired of the moments of silence. Enough. There's 50 senators right now who refuse to vote on H.R. 8, which is a background check rule that the House passed a couple of years ago. It's been sitting there for 2 years. And there's a reason they won't vote on it, to hold on to power. So I ask you, Mitch McConnell, I ask all of you senators who refuse to do anything about the violence and school shootings and supermarket shootings, I ask you, are you going to put your own desire for power ahead of the lives of our children? and our elderly and our churchgoers, because that's what it looks like. It's what we do every week. So I'm fed up. I've had enough. We're going to play the game tonight, but I want every person here, every person listening to this to think about your own child or grandchild, or mother or father or sister, brother. How would you feel if this happened to you today? We can't get numb to this. We can't sit here and just read about it and go, well, let's have a moment of silence. Yeah, go Dubs. You know, come on, Mavs, let's go. That's what we're going to do. We're going to go play a basketball game. And 50 senators in Washington are going to hold us hostage. You realize that 90% of Americans, regardless of political party, want background check, universal background check. 90% of us, we are being held hostage by 50 senators in Washington who refuse to even put it to a vote, despite what we, the American people, want. They won't vote on it because they want to hold on to their own power. It's pathetic. I've had enough.
Well said.
So yeah, we said that this is of another. There's been so many just over the last couple of weeks. Within it's time to make a change, but if no country not doing anything to the. So at this point, I want to use my platform to call for us to try to do something. Appeal to your senators. Do whatever it is that you can do to make your voice heard in Washington. Like it is like we can't just keep letting this happen over and over and over between kids at school. Kids at school? Come on, man. Like from kids at school to our elders going grocery shopping. Like it's just we got to be better. And we got to hold these people who we voted into office. We got to hold them accountable.
Yeah, agree. I think a common refrain is like, well, what are we gonna do? Like, you can't legislate out bad people. It's like this shit only happens in America. So like, it's an American problem. Like, I don't want to hear like there's nothing we can do about it. Like, no, there's other countries ain't perfect. Far from it, but they've at least figured out like how to stop this shit from happening. So whatever, like you have, I don't know how many countries there are in the world, but you have like 200 some odd other examples of like ways to legislate this shit out of existence. And again, like to Steve Kerr's point, to Camille's point, like we have people in power that are actively working against that interest. So yeah, just echo everything that she said. Yeah, so Kerr's dad was like an American, he's either a professor or like an American diplomat. I believe it was in Lebanon. But yeah, he was taken hostage and killed.
Oh yeah, I did see that. Yeah.
Yep. So like this hits home for him, but it shouldn't have to hit, like it shouldn't have to like remind you of a specific, instance in your own life, like for you to care about it. Like it's murdered children, it's murdered old people, it's random, like it's random violence like in a shopping center. Like you would think after Sandy Hook, something would have changed. After like the Las Vegas shooting, where like literally people were at a concert having a good time, somebody just randomly shooting out of a window in a hotel, like that would change something. Like no, it's the same cycle. Like people are outraged, thoughts and prayers, people argue, people forget, and then the shit happens again. Like that, it can't be the same shit every time. Dang, we don't even have a top 5 to go to anymore. Yeah, how we gonna? This is 5 years for us. This is a celebration. Like honestly, like it's kind of a good representation because like while we do have fun, while we do talk about sports, while we do talk about each other, like we also I feel like do a good job of using whatever platform we have, like to actually talk about shit that's important.
True.
Like things that like need to be improved in our society. Like I respect the hell out of everybody else at this table and on the phone for doing that, because like we don't have to. Like it could easily just be like, well, this is sports is an escape. Like that's what people always use, and fuck that. Like sports is a microcosm of America. So like everything that we talk about in sports is like a larger issue within our society and in the world. So this isn't like an escape from anything. Like this is talking about life, like just through a sports lens. So
That's fair.
I don't want to say shout out to us, but shout out to us.
Shout out to us. Shit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Honestly,
We could pick up some flowers.
Yeah, but just not when it comes.
That sounds great coming from you. You know, that's not expected, son. I appreciate it, dog. You know what I'm saying?
So like we said, go ahead, Camille.
no, I was just gonna say I think that's, to your point, Eric, part of what makes our show stand out, or make our show special, because you can turn on Tech File and you know you're gonna get some hee-hees and some ha-has. There's going to be some laughs in the show for you. There's going to be, at some point, an interesting sport discussion that you might be able to take information back to whoever you be arguing with at home and use what we said to help boost up your argument or continue to think in a different way. On top of that, we continue to bring in life because, like Eric said, sport is not, like, people use sport as an escape. And I can get why you would do that. But let's be real, intersectionality is real. None of us can come to the table to podcast and take off who we are. We come to this table, we're going to come to you as 4 black people, 3 black men, a black woman, and we're going to give you sport talk through our lens. That's all that we can do. So therefore, that's why you get the laughs, that's why you get the hee-hees and the ha-has, because we know what black culture is about. You're also going to get that real talk, because that's what black culture is about. We're going to give you, all of us, 100%, every way that we can. I mean, listen to me right now, fam. I sound like crap. But I am still here. We gotta represent. This is a platform. I don't care if 5 people listen to us all 5 years. That's 5 people who heard us and was able to take what we said into their own lives. Like, we all know it's more than 5 people at this point. But well, I mean, that's the point. That's part of why I love this show. Like that we have the opportunity to do that. And I think we do it in a way that's relatable, that people can attach themselves to.
Yeah. I already said that. Amen, sister. Shout out to Mark. He said, as a white man, I appreciate you widening my views. That's all we
See?
That's all we try to do, man. Mark, you know we rocks with you, brother.
You know we fuck with you, dog. I was worried about you, dog, when you went missing.
Hey, that's how I was asking about you, brother.
Like, conspiracy brother hat. Wait.
Oh shit! Throw the hood up. Throw the hood on.
This would be some shit.
Mark was gone, right? A couple weeks. Kane was heavy in the comments.
Oh,
now Mark back.
We ain't seen Kane.
Kane, where you at?
I'm gonna need y'all to be in the same place at the same time.
Kurt Franklin implies, bro.
This happened already. They've been in the same chat.
Oh, they have.
Wait, actually, I think they was talking to each other. Wait, no,
they was going
this
at
is
it.
burner account.
Burner.
Now we just messing with Mark. Shout out to you, Triple T,
Yeah,
Dwayne
Donovan
being here, Donovan, Gio I saw earlier,
Snow,
Shells.
everybody, man.
Shells for sure.
Everybody, it's too many of y'all, man.
Too many to name, but like we do
y'all.
appreciate y'all. Like y'all interact, y'all make the show better. Like you give us validation that we actually out there talking to people and not just speaking into a void. So shout out to y'all for that. I said this earlier on my post. Thank you to everybody at this table in this room. Camille, you too, obviously. Like y'all made the last 5 years really enjoyable. Like I look forward to doing this every week. Like y'all sharpened my speaking skills, you sharpened my argumentative skills. Like you sharpened the way that I think about sports and like the way that I digest things. Shout out to everybody that's listened to us from day one. Shout out to everybody that's listening to us for the first time now.
Absolutely.
Like yeah, man, 5 years, like that's half a decade. Like we've been doing this for a minute, and I feel like again, like not to toot our own horn, but like we're so much better than when we started.
And like for real.
That's through trial and error. That's through like just growth as humans, growth as a group. And I just look forward to seeing what we do with the next 5 years.
Exactly,
for sure.
It only gets better from here.
But with that being said, that's the end of the show.
Time to go.
It is time to go. It's 8:05. We about to the game about to start in a little bit, so we can get the fuck out of here. Camille, you want to start us out? Throw up the order again, like I did last week.
Yeah, I got y'all, no problem. Thank you to everybody tuning in, listening. Like Eric said, I do want to start my intro off or my outro off by just saying how much I love all four of those men in that room right there. Shout out to Dooch for one.
Undertaker.
No, honestly, if without Greg and without Dooch, I don't probably know Greg. Without Greg and Dream Sports, him inviting me onto his podcast and me meeting Dooch, we wouldn't even be here in this moment. Shout out to Greg. Shout out to Dooch for working with us, helping us become better at podcasting and making sure that we sound good every week. Shout out to Ken, the very first person who reached out to me and said we should do a podcast. I said, dog, what is that? He said, listen to his and hers and get an idea of it. And I said, okay, cool. So shout out to Ken for being one of the first people I've heard say, like, let's do a podcast, and brought him on. Shout out to Tim for also pushing that, saying, you know, it'd be fun to do a podcast. And then me being who I am, I'm like, oh, well, my other friend has said we should do a podcast. So like, the three of us should get together and do a podcast. And then shout out to Eric, because you really are like the special sauce that goes on the meal that makes it special. Like, it takes it to a different level. So I just want to say shout out to all three of y'all. I'm so glad that when we had that chicken at Skybox,
that chicken was fine too.
And discussed this, that you know, it's led to this, being able to grow with each other in this way. Like we've been friends. Ken has now, you know, got two more brothers. Y'all got another brother with Ken now. And it's I mean, like if you think about the last 5 years of our lives, it's just how different we all are individually.
Totally.
And the fact that we're all still here together doing this, still cool, still want to kill with each other. This is not a podcast where we are only cool on the mic.
Yeah, we family for real.
And I think that shows through what we talk about. But yeah, I just wanted to say I love the four of y'all so much.
Ditto.
And I'm thankful for y'all. So if you want to follow me on social media, you can catch me.
Wait a minute.
On Twitter, Instagram, and PSN at Camille Monet, CAMILLEMONAE, because
your mom is fancy.
I hope I sound better for y'all next week and feel better.
Indeed. We all need to be together. We ain't been together.
It's been a while.
It's been like almost 2 months since we all been together.
Next week. Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
At your world champion Milwaukee Bucks burner on Twitter.
That's all you get.
Yep.
Everyday_gentleman on Instagram. KHarris216 on Twitter and Snapchat.
I ain't got nothing sappy to say and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Y'all done got all the sap up out of us and shit. But I will reiterate, I do love every single one of y'all, and I'll be excited. Y'all know I'll be excited to see y'all and shit, bro. Like, it's your boy, TIMKINZ, the number 3, aka Ass Ketchum, aka Mr. Give It To Me. Appreciate y'all.
I do have one last sports fact of the week to give y'all on the way out. LeBron James has more All-NBA selections after turning 30 years old, 8, than the following have in their entire careers: James Harden, Jason Kidd, Tracy McGrady, Allen Iverson, Steve Nash, Scottie Pippen, Patrick Ewing, Julius Erving, Dominique Wilkins, and Carmelo Anthony.
Yeah, dang.
That's from age 30 to 38. He has more than they had in their entire careers.
LeBron
Shout out
James.
to LeBron James.
LeBron James.
And we got this bitch.
The King.